City Arts Family Art Saturday. I'm Jessie and I'm so glad you're here today. We are going to be transforming our windows into magical places. We are going to build a sun catcher and we're going to go on a sensory scavenger hunt. And these activities are inspired by the work of Estefania Puerta. Estefania is currently exhibiting Soar Mouth Swore at Burlington City Arts Gallery. Estefania uses materials in really interesting ways. She activates our senses. She makes us think about the way things smell and the textures that we might feel, and incorporates all sorts of wonderful colors and sparkles. She uses materials like, well, have you ever used dirt in your art before? Or beeswax and honey? Or hair? These are the things that you can find in Estefania's work. When you walk into the gallery, you can smell this warm scent of beeswax, and it's this whole new experience of viewing art. So you can check out more of Estefania's work at Burlington City Arts website. There's a virtual tour. You won't be able to smell the beeswax, but you will be able to really check out her work, and you can zoom in close and check it out. There's a lot of mirrors in there that give you this opportunity to zoom in, and it reflects you back out of the artwork. And it also reflects a lot of light. And there's little portals with videos inside of them. Really exciting, and again, perfect inspiration for our sun catcher. Let's begin this Family Art Saturday by waking up our senses. There are 5 senses. You've got your sense of sight, your sense of smell, your sense of sound, your sense of taste, and your sense of touch. And all of these are really important to us as artists. So we're going to take a minute and wake those up. To start, let's just give it an overall wake up of our body. Do a little patting, wake yourself up. And you can do this standing or sitting, wherever you're comfortable. I'm going to give myself a little rumble. Wake yourself up. We've got to use our senses on our scavenger hunt. After you've got your senses warmed up, it's time for your scavenger hunt. So here's the things you're going to want to find. And these things we're going to use to make our sun catchers. So as you're exploring and looking for your things on your scavenger hunt, make sure that you know that they're going to need to fit on something this size. So don't go picking anything really big because you can't use it for your sun catcher. So you're doing a scavenger hunt with your senses, but you want to think itty bitty. All right, first thing you want to find, something that smells good. Something shiny or sparkly. Something organic and from nature. Remember, Estefania used a lot of dirt in her work. Something smooth, something fluffy or soft. Something stringy. Something colorful, bumpy or pokey, any other object that you find interesting and think will make a great addition to a sun catcher. 1 bottle of sticky glue and a recycled plastic lid. Yogurt sour cream lids work perfectly. Get your eyes, your ears, your nose, your sense of touch ready. Have fun on your scavenger hunt. I'm going to meet you back here and we'll check out the materials you find and figure out how to use them to build a sun catcher. I've gathered some materials here and I am ready to go. So lay out your materials and let's get started. So start by choosing the lid you want to use. The lid is going to hold the glue. It's going to determine what shape your sun catcher is and how big it is. I like this size for my sun catcher. I think it doesn't take too much glue, but it gives me enough space to use all the materials I collected. I've even made a sun catcher with something really small before. Doesn't matter what color your lid is. Again, these are just a shape for us to pour our glue into, and after the glue dries, we're gonna pop these right off. May sound a little confusing right now, but don't worry, it's easy peasy. For today, I'm gonna use this size, and then I'm gonna need to pick my glue. I love clear glue because it allows me to be able to see through all of the objects that I'm placing in here, and it's got an extra amount of sparkle. School glue is going to dry clear in the end. It's just going to look white when you first put it down there. It's going to work great as well. But one of my favorite kinds of glue to use as well is glitter glue, because it has, not only does it sparkle, but it really sparkles. I'm going to start with my clear glue. Again, that's my favorite one to use. Opening my glue, twisting the little orange top. And then I am going to start, this is not the way I normally use my glue. I'm just going to start squeezing out my glue onto my lid. Sometimes I like to swirl it around. And I'm going to squeeze a lot of glue onto this lid. I'm going to make sure that the whole lid gets filled up with glue. Not overflowing, but certainly not leaving any parts untouched. I'm going to use a little bit of my glitter glue too. I can use it all wild all over the place, or I could make a sparkly border. Doesn't matter. Again, making sure that my whole entire lid is really full. Not overflowing, but almost. You want to just kind of watching it swirl and dance around on your lid. All right, my lid is full, and that means we can start collaging and deciding what we want to press into this sun catcher. What's going to make our windows shine with magic. On my Scavenger Hunt was something that smells good. I selected some mint from my garden. If I rub my fingers on this mint, this very refreshing minty aroma happens. I love it. I also selected some flower petals, this rose petal. That would give a sense of scent to my piece. And how do I do it? All I need to do is decide where I want to place my objects, and then I'm going to go for this smaller mint leaf. Just put it in there. I'm just going to press it down. Now my hands are definitely going to get sticky with this project, but that is part of the fun. Estefania, she definitely got a little sticky with some of her art projects as well. I like it there. I'm going to also use my rose petal. Why not use two different scents? Next thing on my list is some sparkle. My glitter glue already added sparkle, but I found a ton of sparkle, and sparkle is amazing and really great in a sun catcher. I've got this butterfly. I'm going to put this lovely little sparkly butterfly. I'll put it right in the center. This is all up to you. You are the artist. You can put your objects in your sun catcher any way you like. And if you want more than one piece of sparkle, I do. I'm going to use a couple of these little gems I have. And you can put them in there. Love aluminum foil for its shiny quality. I'm going to put a couple of those in there too. Any kind of shine will work. I brought in some dirt because Estefania used a lot of dirt in her piece. I could add some of that. Could be pretty fun. Also have these little pansies. I think I'm going to go with a pansy this time. And I'm just going to press that in. That's going to be my organic object. Next we're going for something smooth. This little piece of plastic in my recycling came off a soy milk container, but I liked the little ring. I'm going to add that in there. It'll be pretty. That's gonna, and I need something soft and fluffy. What did I gather for that? some moss. I think that's fluffy or soft. Place it right on top of my glue. Again, you're just putting these where you as an artist think they're going to look beautiful. Something stringy. I have gathered some thread. That'll be stringy. This is a pretty small Suncatcher. I don't need too much of anything, just tiny little bits and pieces. Woo! All right, there we go. Strings down. And we next need color. I am going to use some liquid watercolor that I have. The other thing that works really great is food coloring in this project. So I'm going to take my paintbrush and then I'm just going to dab it on the glue. So I'm just taking my brush, tapping it in, painting that color on, but trying not to disturb some of the things I've already put on there. I think that's plenty of color. I definitely want to be able to see through my glue. I found these bumpy, pokey rocks. They're kind of tiny. I chose the tiniest rocks I could find because I knew I was making a small Suncatcher. I think they'll look pretty on there. Now, is there anything else I want to add? There's still room on it. I could add more objects, but I'm really liking the way it looks. What I'm going to do before I finish is I'm going to add one last layer of glue. At this point, I am not touching my Suncatcher anymore. Just letting that glue drizzle on top of everything, and it'll settle down. Oh, yay. All right. Awesome. I've put my Suncatcher over by a fan. I'm going to turn that fan on here in a minute and start the drying process. Hi, I've been waiting really patiently for my Suncatcher to dry. I waited all day and all night, and when I came back this morning, I noticed that it was completely dry. I know that because when I touch it, it's not sticky or squishy, so it's ready to come off of the lid. Now, the dry time is totally going to depend on the humidity in the air and how much glue and what kind of supplies you use. But mine's ready now, so let's figure out how to take this off. You're going to need to carefully peel from the edge, and some of my edges already are starting to come off from the drying process. So I'm going to find one of these loose edges. I'm just going to go right in there, and I'm going to pull it off of the lid. Might be a couple little sticky spots. And then I've got my beautiful Suncatcher. It just popped off just like that. So now I want to hang my Suncatcher in the window, and I'm going to need to put a string on it. There may be a hole that occurred naturally from an air bubble, or you can make one with a hole punch. I'm going to go ahead and make one with a hole punch because it's exactly where I want it. And then I'm going to take some string. I have some fishing line. It's clear string. You can use any string or ribbon that you like. And just tie a little knot up top. I just hung my Suncatcher in the window, and I think it looks beautiful. It is sparkling and catching the sun in the most magical way. I love it. Brings just the right amount of joy to this window. I am so glad you could join me for this Family Art Saturday. I had so much fun. I love my Suncatcher, and I'm excited for you to get to make your magical Suncatcher, and your windows are going to be so sparkly and beautiful. Some of my Suncatchers, I made a couple small ones, and you can link them all together. They're going to look so many different ways. Even the little tiny ones come out great. So have fun. The next Family Art Saturday is July 25th. Should be exciting. Have a beautiful day and happy creating.